Experts have found that QR is the most coachable section in the UCAT. Here's what this means for you. With hours of targeted revision and focused studying, your UCAT QR score is almost guaranteed to improve, and if you can get it to 900, then you're already putting yourself at much of an advantage past other test takers. In this video, I'll be running down how to exactly get your UCAT QR score from anywhere between 600 to 800 all the way to a guaranteed 900. And the first thing you need to understand is the QR is not a test of how good you are at maths as a whole. What makes QR difficult for most students is the time pressure. I'll be going through step by step how to get 900 in the UCAT QR section, as well as going through a lot of different QR question types myself live, demonstrating how to think and how to get 900 in QR. So the first thing you need to understand about QR is what makes it difficult is not the maths itself, it's the time pressure. What a lot of students find difficult is reading the whole question, identifying correctly what it's asking you to do, and then doing that in the set time of around 40 seconds. Because you have 26 minutes to do 36 questions, that works out to be around 40 seconds per question. And let's be honest, the maths they're asking you is not really that hard, it's more so the time pressure in which you have to do it. So step 1 to get 900 in quantitative reasoning is mastering the core maths topics. These include but are not limited to percentages, percentage change, ratio and proportion, averages, speed, distance, time calculations, fractions, decimal multipliers. Decimal multipliers are absolute lifesaver if you know how to use them. Simple algebra, reading tables and graphs, and most importantly, reading the whole question. Now the way you can go about doing this is actually using skill trainers on Medify and MedEntry, or you can just practice the individual types of questions on Medify. You can do this timed or untimed, but I'd recommend you to do timed so you've actually got that pressure even when you're starting out. Even though you don't need to learn a lot of advanced maths, you need to be able to click in your mind what decimal multipliers to use on what type of percentage question, and you need to be able to correctly understand how tax brackets work, because that's another one that students struggle on a lot. The main thing this will do is not only increase your accuracy, but it also help you build that speed, and that speed comes from repetition. Step 2 on how you're going to get 900 is learning how to use the calculator fast and efficiently. This is one of the easiest ways to improve your QR score. Stop clicking on the calculator with the mouse and clicking every number with the mouse. Instead, you need to be able to use the number pad quickly and efficiently. And in your exam, if you're trying to use the number pad and it does not work, make sure your numlock is off. The quicker you can enter calculations, enter numbers on your calculator, the more time you're going to save. And a few seconds may not seem like a lot, but across the whole section it adds up. And another way that students set themselves back is by doing every single calculation on the calculator. Some students do 28 plus 7 on the calculator. If you can quickly work something out mentally, then go for it. Don't pull out the calculator for every single calculation you have. And step 3 will make the biggest change to your UCAT score, reading the question before even looking at the table. This completely changed my scores in QR, because I wasn't struggling to do calculations and work out percentage change. I was just doing the wrong question. And this is where a lot of students go wrong. The question will ask you, what is the average salary of the women in the group? And you'll work out the average salary of the whole team in the group. By not reading keywords like women, boys, girls, metals, in different tables, in different groups, you'll miss out on easy marks in a lot of questions. You might get a huge table with numbers, groups, categories, and a whole paragraph explaining everything, and you'll just simply get overwhelmed. If you just look at what the question is asking you, you can filter in your head what you're looking for, what you need to calculate, and what the quickest way of approaching it is. And once you read the question, ask yourself first, what is it that I'm looking for? And this approach will help you get your scores from anywhere between 600, 700, all the way to 900. And it won't just save you time, but it'll also make your accuracy go through the roof. Now moving on to step 4 is learning when to skip. This is maybe one of the most important tips I'll go through in the video. As you know, the UCAT's not designed for you to answer every question, especially in sections like VR, but this also applies in QR as well. If you open a question, there's a ton load of information, a nasty multi-step calculation where you simply just don't know what's going on, then don't keep thinking about it. Just press skip and move on. Because while you're spending a minute or two answering this 1 mark question. Another student who's going to get 900 will have answered 2 or 3 easier questions on maybe percentage change, and he'll come back to this when he's less time pressured. Whereas you're still stuck there battling with this one question, and now even the easy questions you're going to mess up because you're under a lot more time pressure. To get 900 in the UCAT QR, you don't need to be getting every single question right. You can still afford to get a few questions wrong, but you also have to identify which questions are worth leaving and which ones are worth doing. And this ties into point number 5. Recognize the easy marks. When you practice enough QR, you'll start recognizing these questions straight away. You look at a question and think, that's percentage change. That's just a simple decimal multiplier. This question is just reading the graph. This one's just making sure that I understand which groups and which categories I'm meant to read from. These are the questions that you just absolutely want to fly through. Instead of spending 40 seconds like you should be, just spend around 20 seconds, and even after doing a few of these, you'll have a lot more time for the nasty questions at the end. And the final tip before going through questions live with you is tip number 6. Don't just keep doing question after question in QR practice. This is where a lot of students waste their preparation time. They'll do 100 questions on QR, get around 80 to 100, and they'll do another 100 questions. But what they won't address is where they're going wrong in the questions. If you're making the same mistakes every time, you're getting the tax questions wrong, you're getting the graph questions wrong, you need to address why you're going wrong, what don't you understand, any misconceptions you may have. Then you need to consolidate that topic alone. Don't do another 100 questions, maybe do 10 questions of that topic and ensure that you're getting them right. This way, you'll ensure that you're actually targeting your revision. You need to be separating your mistakes into, I didn't know what the question was asking me, I worked out the wrong thing, I just had a misconception about the topic, I ran out of time, I entered something wrong on the calculator. Not just, I got it wrong, I'll do another 100 questions. And once you know what's costing you marks, you can start working on that. And once you're consistently getting these questions right, you'll be able to fly through them accurately and quickly, and this will leave you a lot more time to do the harder questions and in a calmer space of mind. And that's where you see your QR scores starting to jump significantly. So now I'll go through a few questions with you guys on Medify, showing you what I think, what my approach is when looking at QR questions, and I'll go through the 4 different types of questions on Medify, the tables, the graphs, the text questions, and the 4th type of question on Medify for QR. And I'll be going through step by step what I think when I look at the question, what I process, which questions I skip, and how to just go about doing QR in general. So this is the first question we have. The table below shows information on different rescue variables. So how many more board rescues did Lachlan give than Harry gave Canboy assist? So board rescues we have here, Lachlan 14, Harry is there, Canboy is 4. So how many more board rescues did Harry give than Canboy? So we have 14 and 4. Pull out the calculator. So he gave 10 more, divided by Harry Canboy assist 4. That's 2.5, 250. Move on, that's D. The mean number of verbal signals that the 4 lifeguards made is 4 times the mean number of board rescues made. So the board rescues made, we have all of them, so we'll work with that instead. 16 plus 9, 25 plus 5, 30 plus 14, 44. So 44 times by 4, we have 176. 176, that means, is the total number of verbal interventions. Take away 24, take away 51, take away 35. Oh, I've done it wrong. 176, take away 24, take away 51, take away 35, 66. 85% of Jasmine's rescues were verbal signal interventions. So 51 divided by 0.85 gives you 60. That means in total she made 60 rescues. So board 5, 56. So that means that 60 take away 56, 4. The total number of rescues made by Harry and Lachlan last season to the total. This is from this season, so that's not what we got. made to this season is at a ratio of 4 to 5. So it says total number, so we can just use any. 4 plus 16 plus 24 is how many Harrys made. That's about 44. And Lachlan made 21 plus 35. 21 plus 35 is 56. 56 plus 44 is 100, so they made 100 this year. 100 is the ratio of 5, so the 4 one is going to be 80 to 100. So how many more rescues did Harry and Lachlan make this season than last season? They made 20 more, and 20 divided by 80 is 25, so 25%. Now we got a table. Chloe's drive to London should take 4 hours 20 minutes but is delayed by the following. Delays: roadworks 25, accidents that's 40 plus that 50. So let's say she left at 12:05 and it took her 4 hours 20 minutes. That's 4:05, then 4:25. That's the answer. Then we've got an assortment of grass. So I can already see this formula here and this really small table with a lot of values. So for that reason I'm going to skip it. I'll come back to it at the end. And this table looks a bit better. The table below provides data from 6 cycling clubs over a month. The Roadmasters, that's the second one, second column, second row, is expecting 80 additional members. New ratio of training session to members. So right now they've got 72 plus 80 will be 152, and they got 38. So 152 divided by 38 is 4, so you got a ratio as 1 to 4. Velocity Club implements changes that result in a 20% increase in monthly training sessions. So Velocity Club is the top one. Monthly training sessions 45. 45 divided by 5 to get 20% is 9, so that's 54 training sessions now. 54, and 7% decrease in total distance. So we'll just use our multiplier, 0.93 multiplied by 3600. That gives us 3348 divided by 54. That's 62 per training session, and originally it was 3600 divided by 45, 80. So we do 62 divided by 80, 22.5. We'll see what we got wrong here. So I've just reviewed the questionnaire and you can see that I've got this one wrong. I've put 301.16, and the reason I've done this is because I misread this as he has chosen to pay monthly, but it's actually he's chosen not to pay monthly, and it's 10 installments, not 12. So I got that one wrong, and I got this one wrong as well. We'll see what we've done wrong. So use the calculator. And that's the main way that a lot of students actually lose marks in QR, is by not reading the questions correctly. And as I went over, this question was not really that hard. It's just that I'd actually misread the question, and maybe a few seconds of reading the question properly would have saved me losing that mark, which was quite an easy mark to lose. I hope this video helps you in your QR. QR is known for this reason to be the most coachable, because once you've patterned the easy topics, it's easy to get those full marks. And getting 900 in QR already puts you at such an advantage for the other sections. Maybe 750 in DM, that's already at 1650 you're at. And if you get even 500 in VR, which is quite low to be fair, you're still getting 2250, which is a really strong score. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, where I'll keep uploading UCAT videos. Leave any comments if you want any specific videos, any specific help on any type of questions, maybe DM. I'll be going through the whole UCAT in this series of videos that I'll make. And make sure to like and subscribe.